Social pressures on 11-year-olds, 11-year-old girls? One of each. 11 to 14 is a very tough time socially. And your mom and dad didn't see you through it. And you're not going to see them through it. What you have to do is listen and say, that's tough. I remember that. That's hard. What do you think you're going to do? Do you have a strategy? Do you want some advice? How do you think you're going to handle it? And you ask questions that reach into your child's resilience, their creativity, their, oh, you're going to help me out, Jody, here. You ask questions. Look, I was trained as a narrative therapist. Narrative therapists believe you don't actually live your life, you live the story you tell yourself about the life you're leading. If you only ask your child about how mean all the other children is, how victimized they feel in middle school, and most kids feel victimized sometimes in middle school, you will get a story that a child tells of victimization. If you ask them about their coping and their resilience, they will hear a story of coping and resilience coming out of their mouths. And it goes out of their mouths and in their ears, and they think, oh, I'm not doing too badly. It was a hard day, but I've got some strategies. And they wade back into the middle school fight. I can't spend a ton of time on this topic. I have a book called Best Friends, Worst Enemies, and I spoke about it earlier today in Deerfield. But the idea that you can see kids through the social difficulties of middle school is a delusion. It's a loving delusion. We'd all like to protect our kids from social hurt. But middle school is a tough place socially. And we can put in effective anti-bullying programs and reduce anti-bullying down to almost nothing. And we'll still find there's an irreducible minimum of social cruelty in human life. But when I looked at school, and this is what I told the audience earlier, I spend all days in school. And yes, there are mean things going on, and kids are excluded. But there are also thousands of acts of generosity and friendship and caring and mutual support and helping each other with their homework. And, you know, there are thousands of experiments going on. If we over-focus on just the terrible ones, we miss the true generosity of kids. So that's a mini lecture on Best Friends, Worst Enemies. Yes?
How do we help kids deal with the gray zone? So
Deal with the grays?
The gray zone.
What gray zone?
Meaning that they believe, either they are good, they are good or they are bad. Either they have friends or they don't have friends. There's the two extremes.
Because they're they're young and they're black and white thinkers and they see life in extremes. So you're talking about a 13-year-old girl?
Boy.
Boy. Where they don't, when you're 12, 13, 14, you're not nuanced enough. So and you tend to think in more extreme ways. And kids are more emotionally volatile. So teenagers, their highs are higher than ours and their lows are lower. And they fluctuate dramatically between them. One of the things we do when we get to be adults is we just cut off the top.